Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Well, I hope you're not too hungry as you listen to today's show because Pam and Ricky are joining me, and we're talking about something you know I love. We're talking about the best places to get some Mexican food around Walt Disney World. This show is brought up by the folks over on our Discord server. We're having this conversation earlier in the week, so here it is. We're going to talk about those places that are obvious: Maya Grill, La Hacienda, San Angel Inn, but there's also some sleeper picks where in a pinch, you can get your nachos, you can get your walking tacos, you can get your tableside guac. So get ready. We're going to get some chips, some guac, some salsa, some margaritas, and talk about the best places to enjoy your Mexican meals down at Walt Disney World. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Just check out all the details over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And please support us on Patreon. Thank you so very much to all of our Patreon supporters. You can support us starting at just $5 per month as well, and you'll get our bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2453 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend, and we are definitely doing that here on the Be Our Guest Podcast because guess what? We're celebrating a birthday. And we're doing that because we're going to have a great topic today for you. We're going to have a practical topic. We're going to have a topic that hits me so much in the feels that we had to do this on a milestone show. So today we are celebrating 16 years.
Woo.
16 years. Our little podcast can go out there and try to get its driver's license today. It can do all those things like drive over curbs.
Yes.
Bump into fire hydrants.
Correct.
Like not exactly know how to, like when the yellow blinky turn light turns, not really know that it's, you got to wait. You don't get to go yet. Yeah, no, wait. That means you got to yield. Like, can you tell I have a 16-year-old driver in the house? She has her full-on license. So I don't ride with her much anymore. She drives everywhere. She got her own car. She drives by herself. God, I mean, it scares me to death every time she leaves the house. Because when I used to ride with, she drove us home from the Mexican restaurant just the other day. She's like, I'll drive. I was like, okay. Whew. Wasn't pretty, but you know, she's been getting to school and all over the place, all over God's earth to work and back and forth with her own little car. But it's just one of those things. Our little podcast, I hope it's puts its seatbelt on and gets out in the world and has a good time. But 16 years of shows since the middle of March of 2008. We've been bringing you the podcast, and we thank you so much for supporting us. But today, we thought we'd have fun. Mexican food at Walt Disney World. Apps, chips and guac, margaritas. Let's talk about it. It's the weekend. So Ricky's joining me from down in the mouseforless.com and DisneyWorldAfterAll.com. And she's down in Atlanta. What's up, Ricky? This is my third show in a row. What's up?
It's fine. It's all good. Yeah, no, just ready for this weekend. So it's supposed to be nice here, I think. So we're going to have a nice time and enjoy a little bit of maybe sun and not fun. I mean, maybe a little bit of fun. I don't know. It's just going to be a good weekend. So you got St. Patrick's Day this weekend. So, I mean, I feel like something fun will happen. I will not be cooking corned beef and cabbage though, because I do not like either of those things.
I love that stuff.
So maybe a shepherd's pie. I do like shepherd's pie. Well, actually, I guess technically I make cottage pie because I use ground beef instead of lamb. But yeah, maybe a cottage pie.
We're celebrating St. Patrick's Day on the live call-in show Sunday night. Scott said he's going to have a green beer. I don't drink beer, but I'm going to have a margarita. So come hang with us.
Hey, there you go. We're tying it all back in. Margarita's green.
I'm saying,
St. Patrick's Day.
it's St. Patrick's Day margarita. I mean, at least it's
go.
green. I mean, it's a green drink, and it'll be fun because it's a drinking day. Even though it's not, Irish. But anyway, also joining us, we have the Coder of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester, who I've shared many a margarita with. What's going on, Pam Forrester?
I know. How does a margarita get to be for St. Patrick's
Well, it's green. I mean, it was a green drink.
I see.
It could be
it's
Gatorade.
the color.
But
It's
yeah.
the color factor,
I was thinking about that after I said it. I sounded like a fool on Sunday night, but
not the origin or country of origin for the drink or anything like that. It's just whether the margarita was actually created there or not.
Yeah,
who knows?
bad.
But anyways, yes. Okay, I see. It's the green factor.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, and plus I really was more thinking I just like margaritas. So
yeah, of course.
So, it'll be a good podcast, I think, with a beer and a margarita.
Probably. I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, we try every week. I mean, we fail, 72% of the time, but we always give it a good try.
There's no place to go but up. Well,
That's
there
right.
is. Let's just say
record numbers last week. I mean, it was wild. It was
like
great, and we're hoping for that again. At least 2 or 3 of the people come back this Sunday, so we'll see.
There you go.
That's good. Yes. You and Scott will both be there, so you already have 2.
Well, I mean, I'll be there for sure. Scott, he should be there. As long as his round of golf goes well. If he plays Sunday, we'll see. But yeah, he'll be there. It'll be a good time. So let me ask you. So we're going to talk Mexican food, but before we do that, 16 years of shows. We appreciate everybody hanging with us that long. 16 years.
I don't even know what
Non-stop.
to say about that. We were talking about that before and said that people there are a lot of podcasts out there that don't even do 10% of the shows that we do on whatever. And I understand why. They're, doing 45 to 50-minute podcast requires 3 days of research, and they're providing all this useful information, and maybe they aren't winging it like we do 80% of the time. So that's my advice to new podcasters. No,
just wing it.
Just wing it. Just wing it.
I like it.
No, but yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So here we go. And this is, again, coming from our Discord, because we have a thread in our Discord, which, again, hopefully by now you can just go to beourguestpodcast.com/Discord, because I'm working on that. But if not, just go to beourguestpodcast.com, scroll down to the widgets, and join our Discord if you have it, because that conversation is going on all the time, and it is awesome. But, so come on over, but let's talk about, so let's knock out the very obvious places to go for Mexican at Walt Disney World, because there's some obvious places. This actually came across because we have a thread that, for show suggestions, and it was over there on the Discord, but also because Scott is going down next week, and he booked at ADR to place a Mexican restaurant, mind you, at Walt Disney World that I had never heard of, and I was offended. I was like, wait, whoa, a Mexican restaurant I've not heard of. And we'll talk about that in just a second.
Okay.
So my first one, that's Captain Obvious. Let's do our Captain Obvious picks. My first Captain Obvious, Maya Grill. It's a top 3 restaurant for me. Coronado Springs, always solid. Smooth jazz, played live. Love that guy. Great fajitas. Great chips and guac. Great margarita flight. For a while, they had a funky menu there for a few years, but it's kind of back to the menu that I like. Margarita flights, tequila flights. It's very easy to get an ADR there. It's a solid restaurant. It's not super expensive. It's really got it all going on. I go to My Grill all the time. It's great restaurant. Good food. So I like My Grill. That's my Captain Obvious. We're not gonna spend a ton of time on these, but Ricky, give your Captain Obvious Mexican restaurant.
I mean, Captain Obvious, hello, San Angel Inn at Epcot in the Mexico Pavilion.
Yep.
I mean, how else does it get any better? It's delicious Mexican food. It's a little bit different than what I think most people are used to, and I think that throws some people off. But it's still really good if you're okay with trying different kinds of Mexican food. That's not just the standard kind of Mexican food that you see on every corner, basically. It's really good. I mean, who else doesn't love having a attraction float past you as you're dining? I mean, It's fantastic. You get to dine in the dark. I mean, some people don't like that. It is definitely a little difficult to see in there. Not gonna lie. Even, it's just, you might need a cell phone or candle near you to see a little bit, but it's the ambiance of the whole place that really sells the whole thing. So I love San Angelo, and I think it's a great choice if you're looking for a Mexican restaurant.
I agree. And you know what? I think that's everybody's kind of first. Well, maybe not anymore though. Maybe it's because we're so old, like we were drawn in by the Birnbaum's Guide. Is the Birnbaum's Guide even a thing anymore?
Yeah.
Is it
They
still?
still make it. They still make it.
But do you think people come in that way? I think people come in more like through podcasts and blogs and stuff.
Nowadays, yeah, I'm sure, but they still make it.
Yeah.
So
because that seriously,
there's somebody rating it.
My restaurants that I came into, like on my first trip, were like San Angelo Inn, Sci-Fi. It was all the visual ones. They had the big pictures of, like 50s prime time. Trying to think the ones that I saw like pictures. I'm like, oh god, I got to eat there because of like
definitely
visual.
Chef Mickey's was always in there.
Yep, Chef Mickey's. Yeah, good point. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Pam. Okay, so we got Maya Grill, San Angelo Inn checked off. Let's go Captain Obvious picks.
So my Captain Obvious pick is La Cava. It just is. And some may say that this doesn't really have food, so you couldn't do even a meal there. But I will tell you, I've done many a meal there.
Just on alcohol. No, I'm just joking.
No, I absolutely get the drink, but then we also they have the trio of the queso, the guac, and the salsa.
Oh, yeah.
And for my family, I say that is definitely a good meal. So we'll check that off the list. And I love the guac is really good. Like it's really good guac. And I'm picky with the guac that I like. This is just your standard guac, right? It doesn't have anything crumbled over the top of it, Mike. There's no weird add-ons. There's nothing like that.
No, we were down there for Marathon Weekend. We were there with Wade and Scott and all their families and stuff, and we stood around and actually we had that. We had all the guac, we had all the queso. We had like 2 rounds. Dude, I probably ate like the equivalent of a bag of Tostitos. Like no kidding, because we were drinking. And when I drink, I eat a lot. And so Hilda actually came out and talked to us. Like we were talking to Hilda.
Hilda's great. She's like a rock star.
Oh yeah, she was talking to like Wade and Scott and all of it. And so Scott almost bought this thing. It was like this sphere. It was like he bought a drink that had an ice cube in it, but then you could buy the ball for like $50. But finally he didn't. But I know how they get you because they get you on the tequila first, and then you're gonna buy this like $50 sphere that's really just like an ice cube thing. I was like, dude, don't buy that. You don't need that. We can do with it when you get home. It's like a glass ball. It's like a glorified ice cube. But he wanted it. Like, what you can do with that? We walk out of here, dude. You've had too many drinks. Stop. Don't buy it. It was after Hilda left, though. We were being nice when she was there. But she was totally cool. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that guac and the queso is rocking there. But I mean, I wouldn't call it a meal, but it was a very good app. And the atmosphere in there rocks.
I think too, the salsa I really enjoy because it has like some heat to it.
Yeah.
And you know how sometimes you get a salsa and you're like, I feel like I'm just eating like crushed tomatoes that may have a pepper or 2 in there, and that's about it. Like this is legit, and it's not too hot, but I feel like there's a smokiness to it. Like it's real. You can tell I've had this many a time because I've thought about it often. I'm like, why do I like this salsa so much? And then I'll, it gives you, after a couple drinks, you can pontificate on many subjects. So
and this is one of them.
Yes. And of course the queso. Hello, queso.
Now, if they could take this and sell it outside of that restaurant and just, like I said, Disney, put in a chip and dip place inside the Mexican pavilion, you got $1 million idea. I'm just saying.
But the atmosphere sells it. It's so cool in there in the atmosphere. Like it's the cave, right? You put me in a cave anytime and it's like 100 times better. Like the quaintness of this place sells
it. It is. Yes. That's what makes it special, I think.
It is special, yeah.
And right now during Flower and Garden, they have kind of a tequila tasting experience you can book, which is sounding really cool. It sounds very much like what they do on Cruise Line, which, by the way, on my Disney Fantasy Cruise, 2 times. I just did my online check-in this past week. I got 2 tequila margarita tastings.
Nicely done.
But I don't have my wingman. I'm a little worried because my wingman's not going on this cruise.
You'll have Paige.
I will have Paige. Yeah.
That's
Which
true.
that could be trouble because she is not my wingman. So we'll see how that goes. And I did a martini because Pam loved the martini. That was fancy. We did that with Cheryl. Cheryl's in our chat with, by the way. Hi, Cheryl. And I had no idea what a martini was, but we're gonna try that.
Yeah, and they will show you that they don't all get made with vodka or gin. There's other martinis.
Who knew? I don't even know vodka.
Who knew?
But those things were tasty too. We enjoyed this. We're gonna do that again. Maybe Cheryl can come on the fancy with us. July 6th, Cheryl. We're gonna see you in Port Canaveral. So Cheryl actually brings up the restaurant that I didn't know existed that Scott's going to, that I am so curious about. Now, Ricky, I don't know if you can pull this menu and maybe talk about what this is offered, but it's a restaurant called Rosa Mexicana, and it's over at the Dolphin. Now, I'm guessing, Pam, this is a brand new experience over at the Dolphin because, again, never heard of it, but Scott showed newish. Scott showed pictures of this place, and I'm like, this is just calling my name. I mean, the ocean calls to Moana, and Rosa Mexicana calls to Mike. I'm just saying, like, I need to go to this place. I'm scared to talk about it too much, but we're all friends here.
We're good. We're good.
And
yeah.
It looks rather large. So because the thing is, like, with the Dolphin, it's walkable, right? It's very easy to get to from a lot of restaurants or a lot of resorts because you can take the Skyliner, walk from all the Crescent area or the Epcot area resort. So Pam, talk about it.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, which is, I think that's part of, the whole thing. It's open actually for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh my gosh.
Right? I know. But the breakfast menu has more typical items on it, but you're going to find there's like a buffet there that has like chorizo and things like that. So they're going to have guacamole, believe that. So that's a good thing. And a few, I think, things that are more like Mexican inspired, like a tres leches oats, which I think is interesting. And of course, they're going to have chilaquiles and things like that. So lots of good stuff there. But I've heard good things about the food. I've looked at it a couple times. Their dinner menu has some really interesting options. It is not just your typical Tex-Mex restaurant.
No.
It has a lot of different things. And I think that is probably why it's getting so many good reviews out there on the social medias. And Disney folks are very critical.
That's
they like what they like.
Yeah.
They like what they like. So
they do.
And apparently it is a chain because William says they have a couple where he lives, which it's okay if there's only just one there because it is the Dolphin. It's, so they can see where it's a chain, but he says they do tableside guac.
That's what I've heard the most about. Yes, for sure. The tableside guac.
Apparently, I think they have one here in Atlanta. I may have to go.
Oh my gosh. And Cheryl said the portions were large and the food was really good.
Oh, maybe they don't. Never mind.
Oh man, so it's a good option. I mean, it's large. I mean, you're speaking all my language. Tableside guac, large portions, good food, and
they have them in New York. There's one in Vegas, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey. They have one in Pennsylvania, but where's Ardmore, Pam?
I don't think it's near me.
Probably not. No. So anyway, it's definitely a chain. It's kind of those things like we didn't know that the restaurant at the boardwalk that closed recently was a chain, and then I looked it up and it was totally a chain, but it only had one other restaurant. So
you mean Big River?
Big River, yeah. It was a chain.
It was part of a chain. It is part of a chain. Yeah,
yes.
It's part of a restaurant group, actually. I don't think they had another Big River, but they have other.
They did. There was one other one. I looked it up when I was researching, and there was one other Big River. I forgot which city it was in, but yeah, there was another Big River. So.
They have a bunch of other different restaurants though too. So yeah, it's weird.
Okay, so let's mention some places where you can pick up some Mexican options that you might kind of need to think outside the box. So one I'm going to mention, we mentioned this on Wednesday, Sleeper Place, Rick's Sports Bar and Grill at Coronado. So you can get some like nacho. There's like a nacho burger. There's like a kind of a burger that's got kind of a Mexican flair to it. They have like a nacho platter because it is kind of a sports bar, right? That's the whole thing. So if you look at their app platter, they're going to have some like Mexican options there. So Rick's, if you're looking for just some, if you want to get like a a drink and some Mexican kind of app feel, Rick's is a place you could go and grab.
And I
some.
think they actually do themselves a disservice by calling themselves a sports bar. I'm just going to say this, because for a while I actually did not go because I
Yeah.
was
See,
I don't wanna go
when
to
you
a
say
sports bar.
that cracks me up. Though when you say that, I'm the total opposite. When they say that, I'm like, God bless America. It's a sports bar. I want to go there. Like you are like me. I love that though. It's about perception.
I know, but I thought it would be like something like I could find, like a chain I could find anywhere. But they do have loaded nachos, Mike. They have Wachos, which I think are always a fantastic option. As far as, like Mexican inspired stuff, I don't know about that, but I think that that's the thing that makes it interesting is they did have a few things that were sort of inspired. Like they had a horchata latte, which, horchata is a Mexican sort of, it's not cream because it's actually made with rice, but it's something that people who can't drink milk can drink. So I'm very familiar with the horchata and things like that. So the nachos and, like you said, there some burgers, and the chicken sandwich had like guac or avocado on it or something. So yeah, I think that is a good option.
I had a burger that was kind of Mexican. Like it had a Mexican burger, and it was super tasty. Like I remember having that watching a football game. I don't know if they have it anymore. Okay, Ricky, where's another place maybe you find a sleeper Mexican dish?
Well, I mean, it's probably not super sleeper, but it is a place where you can go to get some sort of Mexican dish, and that is going to be at Pecos Bills, which is at the Magic Kingdom in Frontierland. And the reason why it's kind of a nice option is because they do have some, Mexican-inspired dishes. But they also have a few things that, maybe for those who don't want something like that. So they got something for everybody in a way, the whole family. So they have a fajita platter, and they have a chicken rice bowl, and they have a pork carnitas rice bowl. But then they also have, and they have a taco trio, pork carnitas, nachos. So they have like the basics, but then, they have a double bacon barbecue cheeseburger, and just a regular bacon cheeseburger, and a regular cheeseburger, and then salads. So they have other things as well, if for, those who are, looking for something just for everyone, the entire family. I feel like it's a really good choice.
And over on the Discord, not to tell you about the Discord too much, but EMP, I believe, who lives over in Europe, says, I know this is isn't universally popular, but we've always enjoyed Pecos Bills. The rice bowls are decent.
The rice bowls are good.
Compared to the other Magic Kingdom quick service, I reckon, like I said, I reckon Pecos Bills is a solid choice. It's better with the salad sidebars, but it's still our favorite in our family. And he spelled favorite, so I could tell by the way he spelled favorite, he's in Europe.
Nice. I do miss the toppings bar that they had, though. That was definitely a thing that I wish they would bring back. I just want to say Universal has a toppings bar at I think it's in the Jurassic Park section, at the Burger Digs or something like that. So I mean, they brought it back at Universal. I'm just saying, come bring the topping bar back at Pecos Bills.
Yeah, they also have VO5 and Zest and Command Bay,
sure
but we're not talking about that today. So, and I used that the other day because Ben sent me some, and it came in clutch when I ran out of shampoo the other day. And I smelled like the 70s all day, and it was awesome. I felt like Jack Tripper. He also says sleeper hit ABC commissary tacos
Yeah,
studios.
I never
actually,
had those, my brothers had those. He said they're really good.
Yeah.
So
there you go, from the Discord. You live and you learn. Okay, Pam, give us another place. Get some Mexican around property.
So this is actually back in Epcot, and I know we mentioned San Angelo and La Cava, but the La Hacienda is actually sitting there on the water. It is, I think, more upscale than the San Angelo Inn in terms of the food that they're going to offer. But we've had some good meals there, and it's definitely, if you get the right seating, a great place to watch the nighttime show at Epcot. It really is. But again, they're going to have guacamole and other things like that as appetizers, queso fundido, those kind of things. But they also have more traditional house specialties that are not going to be your typical taco, burrito, refried beans, blah, blah, blah. They have like ossobuco, and they put a Mexican twist on that. They have a carne asada. They have some fish dishes, all kinds of things like that. So if you're looking for something that maybe a little more authentic than some of the other options, I think La Hacienda is going to be one of the places that you want to check out.
I agree. They have really good food at La Hacienda. I've always, ever since it opened, that place has probably been open. Has it been open a decade at this point, at least?
Oh,
I would say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when it was new, but I mean, I bet you it's been a decade at this point.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's good because I mean, it was kind of when it opened, I felt like it was kind of the fancy Mexican restaurant, but I don't know. Like, I think perceptions change. I don't know if it's fancy. Do you consider it fancy Mexican?
I don't think it's fancy.
Is it fancier than San Angel Inn?
Yeah,
No.
I would say
yeah.
Okay. Yes.
The food is, you think?
Yes, I think it's more
Upscale?
I don't know what the word is. It's more upscale. Yes, you're right. Than San Angel. Yes, for sure. I feel like San Angel sort of leans toward, I will not say it's like a Mexican restaurant in a box kind of feel, but it's going to have like your traditional sides and things like that. When you look at La Hacienda, it's going to have more Mexican inspired, and I think the food is more fresh and different interpretations. That's what I would say.
Let me ask you this. Okay, here's the deal. So, because I have another pick, but let me ask you this. This is kind of I'm curious where you guys will both fall on this. So Disney gifts you a meal tonight, either San Angel Inn or La Hacienda. Now, La Hacienda has probably, I'm guessing you would say, the better food, but San Angel Inn, I would guess, has the better atmosphere. I would argue has a better atmosphere. Ricky, which one are you going to pick? Where are you going to go?
That really is tough.
Because I feel like in San Angel, like, I can eat Mexican food. Like, I eat Taco Bell twice a week. I mean,
right.
And I love Mexican food, so I'm not a huge quality kind of person when it comes to Mexican. I'll eat anything. But in San Angel, like, it's so dark in there. I can't really tell what I'm eating. Like, I mean, they could probably just like put some like Taco Bell and like put red sauce on top, and I would never know.
I think I'm gonna go with La Hacienda. The menu definitely looks really delicious. And also I haven't eaten there. It's one of the places that I haven't been to yet. So I think I'm gonna go there. Plus you get to eat, you can eat kind of sometimes by the water because they do have some seating that's next to the water. So I'm gonna go there this time.
I've been to both multiple times, and man, it's a really tough call for me. Pam, what did you say?
I'm going to La Hacienda. I just think that the food that I had there has been better, and it just has even a more fresh interpretation of something that you may have had somewhere else. They actually and they still have it. It's like a little platter that's like for two that has a bunch of little things on it. I always thought that was kind of good. It has like shrimp, fish, scallops, and then it has like esquites and tortillas and vegetables and things like that. So I like that. I think it's really good. I remember the carne asada being really good too. So I think it just has a different interpretation of a lot of foods that we might be used to.
I think you're right.
So Cheryl's also, here's the thing. Now, if you've ever followed Cheryl, our good friend, she runs all the races with us on the Be Our Guest Podcast Lizards. She lives in probably the most beautiful place on the planet. Like, when she posts pictures of where she lives, it is so not fair. Like, I mean, picture The Sound of Music, and I've not really seen the whole thing because it's a musical, and I don't watch musicals at all, but I've seen, like, parts of it, and like, the Julie Andrews or whoever that is, like, singing on that one part where it's like a meme and there's mountains all around her and stuff. Like, that's where she lives. Like, it's beautiful. It's like the most beautiful thing you'll ever see. Like, I've seen Amazing Race, and like, they go to these beautiful places. That's where Cheryl lives. It's unreal. Anyway, she says, though, and this is a crime, she says, I've always had my eye on Mexican food because it's very hard to get Mexican food in Europe.
Oh.
I would immigrate. I would leave. I could not deal with that. Anyway, so she's always looking for Mexican food over here. And she mentions the new place in Disney Springs, which is in the marketplace, back in that corner, kind of by Earl of Sandwich. It's called Eat. Good name for a restaurant. But now it's Indian, but they have a walking taco.
Yeah, that has more of an Indian flair.
Has anybody tried it?
I haven't yet. It's on my list. But there are 2 places that you can go at Disney Springs if you are looking for Mexican food. The first is Frontera Cocina, which is by Chef Rick Bayless, which is very good.
I like that place a lot.
Yes, it's
but it's
very
expensive.
Good. Yes, it can be.
No, it can be. It is expensive, but it's good.
Okay,
it's
I was
good.
trying to
That's
put
no
lipstick
problem.
on a pig with that one, but that's fine.
Why you call me a pig? Dude, and I'm not wearing lipstick either, so whatever. Punk. Trying to put lipstick. I'm just saying, I'm calling it what it is. I mean, it's super good food, but it's expensive.
Okay, yes, you're right. It is not cheap. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not cheap. It's expensive.
It's very expensive.
Good, but it's good. I like Frontera Cucina.
Delicious. So there's that. And then the other place is somewhere. Now this one is a sleeper, and I don't think that people think of it because I honestly hadn't thought of it until I kind of looked it up. And that is Four Rivers Cantina, which is actually, it's called 4R Cantina. It's actually a food truck. And they have a taco cone, a burrata, I can't say it. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Tacos. They have quesadillas. They have street tacos. They have a burrito bowl. They have a cantina trio. So they have, for their meats, they have biscuit barbacoa, chicken tinga, adobo pork, tri-tip steak, or roasted sweet potato for those who are vegetarian. So I still haven't tried this food truck, and it sounds delicious. So I think I need to go there because that looks really good. It looks like a really good menu.
I've not tried that food truck either. I need to try stuff like that. I skip the food trucks. I
usually do too. Except for I loved the food truck that was it was the cookie dough food truck back in the day that they used to have. Oh,
agreed.
I would be there every trip. No joke. I would make a trip to Disney Springs just to get the cookie dough.
Right. How could that have possibly gone away? This is my question.
Who
doesn't want cookie dough?
I agree with you, Pam. Why did they take away the cookie dough food truck? They made a huge mistake. Bring it back.
It was a huge mistake. And they needed to not offer for after a while they were like cookie dough tacos and cookie dough. I'm like, no, just put a scoop of cookie dough in a bowl and hand it out.
Seriously, scoop cookie dough in little bowls and just take our money. I mean, dude, it's the American dream.
Step one. Scoop.
Step 2, take $10.
Put it in a bowl. Yeah. Step 3, hand it. Step 4, take our money.
Take $10. Yeah, it costs you $2. Take $10 and make $8 every time you do that.
Right. Exactly.
Repeat.
If $2.
Exactly. Repeat. Be a millionaire in 6 months. I mean, seriously, that's all you gotta do. It's not hard.
I'm gonna start hanging out by Disney Springs, having pre-scooped already. As people drive by.
It's not hard, people.
The crazy lady with the scoops of
Why are we doing this podcast? We could be millionaires just scooping
cookie dough.
I mean, I could be the Pillsbury Doughboy. You can just push my belly and I'll be like, hee.
Exactly.
Cheryl says, by the way, they have cheap margaritas on Mondays at Frontera Cucina. But what are we doing? We record podcasts on Mondays. Something's wrong with this.
No, Cheryl, that seems mean to tell us that. We can't go right now.
Dang it. This stupid podcast. It's killing me. Okay, so speaking of Disney Springs, though, I would imagine, I haven't looked because a huge menu, but places like Splitsville, I'm sure, has some Mexican flair on their menu. Sure. I've also seen in the chat, Jock Lindsay's has tacos.
They do. They have a few different kinds of tacos.
So that's an option. So where else could we go around property to get some Mexican food, though? Are we missing anything? I'm trying to think. We got Pecos Bills.
Check. Is there really anything at Animal Kingdom?
I don't think so.
It seems like someone would have a nacho.
I mean, yeah, you'd think, but I can't think of anything.
There's no South American connection or Spain, Mexico, nothing there though at Animal Kingdom that would have the connection that I could think of.
No, it's true. I can't think of anything that would really fit that mold at Animal Kingdom. That's sad. They should really have something there that has the Mexican flair to it. That's just so funny. Nachos at Yak and Yeti, yeah, but that's hard to get into, to be honest. So
is that the counter service? Because there's a counter service.
No, that's the actual table service restaurant. Yeah, I really can't think of anything in Animal Kingdom. That's really sad.
Speaking of our 16-year anniversary, remember when Debbie used to always talk about the green beans at Yak and Yeti all the time?
Yes, this is
She
true.
She
loved
loved those
them.
green beans,
I love
man.
those green beans. Yes, yes, she did. Ate them
Yes.
all the time.
That just came back. Oh man, she loved those.
Oh
Yak
my
and
gosh,
Yeti.
I haven't thought about those in years. Thanks for
haven't
bringing it up
either,
again,
and that
man.
just That totally just hit me.
Oh, that's
If you've been with us all those times, you know.
You do know.
Trying to think because we only got a couple minutes left. But
You
I don't
got-
wanna
well,
miss
I mean,
it.
we
I
This
was
is my
wondering if
jam.
like Flame Tree had anything.
No, they don't.
That's barbecue.
I mean, we didn't mention the quick service at the Mexican Pavilion, the cantina.
Oh, the cantina, yeah. And there's usually at every
Oh god, yeah. How we miss
flower,
that?
every festival there is
Yes.
something there is something there. Plus you have the margarita stand outside of the Mexican pavilion.
Of
So
course.
no food, but if you would like to have a frozen margarita or an things like that, you can have that.
That's true.
I'm just
Yeah.
adding. I'm just going to add Cheryl to this show because she's coming up with all the answers
Right,
here.
Cheryl, you've
She
done all the
really
Mexican
is
food
looking at.
research.
Yes.
She's got nachos at Whispering Canyon and those nachos that are rocking that are
Those are really
over at Captain Cook's, which are on those. What are they like? They're kettle. They're
Like
kettle
wonton
or
chips and
something.
kettle
Wonton
chips.
chips,
Yeah, they're
Those
good.
things are really good. If you've never had those, they're
Mhm.
really because they're a different kind of chip and they got kind of a.
Mm-hmm.
They're so tasty.
They used to be a sweet potato chip under there too.
Oh, those are so good.
That was really good too. I miss the sweet potato chips.
So I'm trying to think. I don't want to close the show out until we kind of think about like where else you could get. I mean, obviously margaritas are going to be on the menu all over the place.
I mean, obviously, you have oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it. The restaurant in the middle of Coronado.
No, see, Cheryl's got you.
Bridges.
She's already got Three Bridges. Bam, she beat you.
See,
to the
Three
punch.
Bridges. That's exactly what I was about to say. I was like, what is the name of the restaurant? Yeah, Three Bridges. Yeah, that's a really good choice as well. And I know Pam has done. They have a sangria class that you can take there as well.
I've done it a couple times.
She's a professor. I've
graduated,
heard,
have
I've heard
graduate
she's a
degree.
professor, an adjunct.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. I know. I really don't get. They should have me come more often
They should.
because I'd be willing to teach as often as necessary. But yes, yeah, and that's fun. And I love that you can reserve it now. Like it's actually
Yes.
something you can make an ADR for.
I
So-
saw that online recently when I was doing some research. I said, "Oh my gosh, you can now book this online," which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure it makes it so much harder to get into now at this point because who wouldn't want to do Sangria University?
I know. It's fun. It's fun. It's definitely worth doing. You actually have a sort of corn dip with it. So when you go through it, they do give you a little food so that you're not sucking down all of
That's
these
right.
sangrias without any food in your stomach. And it's worth doing for sure.
Well, I mean,
But,
teachers require a lot of professional development, so I would, get that and count that towards that.
Does that count? Do you get CEU
I would
credits
try.
for that?
I would try. I'd submit that to my administration. They'd be like, "What's sangria? You like what? Is that accredited?" I'd be like,
You could
I
be
believe
like,
so.
it's not sangria like you're thinking of.
No,
It's
exactly.
Sangria.
No, that's a college down south. Exactly.
Yes.
Look it up.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, too funny. And that's the thing I was going to say at the Laguna bar at Coronado. The options that they do have for food include nachos.
Mm.
So, yes, I know. Just to let people know that. So, does that count?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we've got in City Works. Cheryl saying City.
They have a
Works might
couple different
couple
tacos,
options, yeah.
actually.
They do.
Including
Didn't
an
they have a
ahi tuna taco.
Breakfast one for a while, I think, or do they still have that? That was I remember getting that. That was good. It was one that had egg in it. I feel like.
And of course, there's a couple of like quesadilla options at the Siestas
sure,
Pool
yes.
Bar at Coronado. They
Yep.
always have and
there
they have
are.
like frozen margs over there if you just don't want to leave the dig site. I've done that many a day. That's a good day there. Get
They
some,
actually have shrimp
quesadillas.
tacos over there too,
Oh,
in the little by
that's a
the
good day.
Coronado bar.
Yep, you don't even have to leave the pool.
Nope.
I think we've exhausted it. I think everybody's gonna have a lot of
We've
options.
done what we could do.
We
So
have.
hungry for Mexican now.
So
Dang
guess
it.
where
Right?
I'm headed. You know where I'm headed.
I know where you're headed.
Making a
yeah.
run for the border, baby. 90s reference there.
Yeah, I'm
my
not headed there.
My mother-in-law comes in solid every holiday. I get a Taco Bell gift card. Shout out Elaine. You got a good mother-in-law that knows you when she gets you a Taco Bell gift card every holiday. Anyway, let's get out of here. So we're going to have a great weekend. And everybody, I bet you everybody's going to get Mexican this weekend. So
right? Oh, my goodness.
Well, thank you to your, we applaud all your local chambers of commerce that are going to be enjoying your patronage. All right. So we want to see you over on the Discord. Again, beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. Hopefully that's working. If not, go to beourguestpodcast.com and just find the widget right there below and just join the Discord. We'd love to have you in on the conversation. It's been fun. Don't forget, all the shows brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're standing by all weekend, helping plan amazing Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney trips. And don't forget, the iron is still hot on those 2025 Walt Disney World vacation packages. You can get those increased booking bonuses right now. Time's running out on that. It's only for the first month, but you can still get in on that right now. And don't forget, you get that free water park day on your check-in day for those 2025 packages. That's a big perk. So let's get you hooked up. Get those swimming trunks ready. And think about it. You got all that time to get ready for swimsuit season. I mean, 2025 is still a long time away. But book it now. So you get the room you want. Everything's locked in. And you got that carrot so you can get on the treadmill. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm motivating myself. You do whatever you want. That's what I'm doing. But hey, cruise. I got a cruise coming up, and I'll be talking about it. We need to get you on a Disney Cruise Line ship. If you've never done it, they're the bomb. They're awesome. If you've been on one, you know you got to go back. Deck 11 ice cream machine. You get to go to all the great places in the Caribbean, maybe to Alaska, maybe to the Med. These ships go all over the place. And Disney Fantasy is going to be going some cool places here soon too. So we're going to just have a good time getting you the places you love with the characters you love, with the company you love. So just swing by themagicforless.com today. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That really does help support us. And the best way to support is Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. $5 a month. All it takes really does help us out. And you get the bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So please come on over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can support us on the social media. Ricky Nibs, RIKKI, and IBS. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. I'm at BRGuest Mike. Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Give us a follow. And Sunday night, we'll see you. St. Patrick's Day. We're celebrating. We're going to take your calls. We'll have a great time. You can call in and speak with an Irish accent if you want. You don't have to. I'll try probably terribly, and it'll be terrible. But hey, it'll be fun. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll be having a good time on the BOGP open line. Record numbers last week. Let's blow it out of the water this Sunday night. So we'll see you in a couple of days. All right. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Friday. Whatever you do, stay safe, stay healthy, and yo quiero Taco Bell.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.